All right. Good Sunday afternoon. The weather is nice. My boy Carter is grilling and chilling as usual. My boy Mike is the Time for a Change uh, YouTube channel, and we always need change. What we're going to talk about today, there's so many topics to talk about. As a Buckeye fan, my name's Aaron Harris, by the way. As a Buckeye fan, and the 12-team expansion playoff, I would say that I am more afraid than ever when it comes to the challenges that the Buckeyes will face if we do this 12-team expansion. It means that other teams will get an opportunity, but how much more football can one play if it extends out on top of 13 games plus maybe 2 or 3 more as college kids? Are we going to see teams that we've never seen in the championship before finally make their debut? Or is this a some sort of consolation prize to give those that are not deserving a chance at the title? So the floor is open. I think that I don't think it's the best decision to do the expansion. For the best 4 teams are the best 4 teams. They work hard to to work the absolute hardest and getting those accolades for what they've done all season. You're going to give 4 more teams that haven't won meaningful games the same opportunity. It makes no sense to me. I honestly give it to the best 4 teams record wise and also strength of conference. It's simple. I want to
My
get you guys' opinion and look at it as, what do you think about this 12-team expansion? And also, who would you like to see in those 12 teams?
my take on it is simple. 4 teams not enough. 12 teams too many. You know what I mean? I think they should have just did it to where because when you put 12 teams in it, it makes it to where now every game don't matter. College football had that parity to where every game matters. You can lose one game and mess up your whole season, depending on who was on your schedule. Now, with 12 teams, you know what I mean? You just looking like, okay, well, I got Ohio State on the schedule. I could lose that game because it don't even matter because everybody else I can beat. Instead of knowing Ohio State's on the schedule, you got to beat them because if you don't beat them, you're not in. You can go 12-1, but since you didn't beat Ohio State, you're not in. Now it don't matter. You can lose 3 games and still get in. I like it because it's gonna give us more college football. As a college football fan, I'm never mad with more college football. It's gonna give us some matchups we never thought we'd get to see. But the national championship, January 20th, like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be damn near February, and the national championship is gonna be played. So to me, like I said, 4 teams not enough, 12 teams too many. If I had to do it, I would do it to where you would do it with you get all your conference champions, and then you get an at large. So 6 teams would have been
That
fine.
actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. All your conference champions. And here's the thing, I wouldn't mind having all conference championships because the team has shown up to win that title. They don't get any
Right.
type of prize. They get a
Exactly.
meaningless bowl. If
Exactly.
they get a meaningless bowl, that means that your championship. Who's going to want to win the championship? Look at Missouri last year. Look
Florida
at
State.
Florida State. They got demolished in their bowl game because it wasn't a fair fight. It
Yeah.
was not a fair fight where they weren't able to show who they really are. They were still upset over not getting into the title game. What happened?
Right.
You know, look at Oregon last year, where it was just one loss. I believe they had, season's over, and that was the Pac-12 championship game. They had an opportunity. They had the 5-star quarterback. They had all the pieces intact. We actually discussed that last year in the video where Bo Nix had the game of his life and still lost.
Yeah.
So at this point, yes, it's good to have every conference championships. However, what conference championships would you count? Would you count Big Ten, Pac-12, SEC,
Yeah.
ACC?
Well, now the Pac-12 is out, so you wouldn't count. You would. The Pac-12 is probably going to dissolve itself. So they got 2 teams. They wouldn't have a conference championship, I guess. So I don't think you would count them depending on, like, let's say Oregon State went out and they said, okay, in our non-conference games, we're going to face everybody. Like, we're going to pick Alabama, Texas. They already play Oregon and Michigan, and they go 2-2 and win the rest of their games. Then of course you can be like, well, hold up. You know what I mean? They may not be conference championship, but they only lost 2 and look at the 2 they lost to. But I would do your 5 major conferences and then an at-large. Now we're gonna see what happens with the Pac-12. If the Pac-12, like, I guess, goes away, then I would turn it to 4 major conferences, and you get 2 at-larges. So you would get or not 2 at-larges. You would get 1 at-large, and then the highest ranked person. So after your conference champions, whoever's ranked the highest and shit. Sorry about language. So after you get your 4 conference champions, your 1 at-large, the next highest ranked person, whether it be 6, 7, 8, 9, the next ranked highest person gets in.
I mean, my take on the whole thing, I'm for it. I'm for the playoff extension. I feel like you gotta look at it like how the committee looks at it. It's a business decision. It's bigger than football. You know, they said it's bigger than rap. You know, it's deeper than rap. This is bigger than from a spectator position. They're trying to look at it like more people will go out to the bars during the holiday, more games, people are traveling in the airport. They're trying to, which I think is smart, they're trying to copy off of, you saw March Madness, they're trying to, college football is popular. They're trying to take what March Madness did and how everybody, it doesn't matter if you're old or young, everybody likes this bracket thing.
See, but that's the thing, though. I think they had it with the 4 teams. It was just 4 is not enough. Now I think 12 is too much. I get exactly what you're saying, and that's what I was for too. Like, but with March Madness, like, your season matters, but really it's once you get to your conference tournament, like the ACC tournament. You know what I mean? And then that's when seeding matters and stuff. But it's the parity of March Madness. Win or go home. You know what I mean? Win or go home.
They're trying to build that same adrenaline.
But that's where they failed, because we had that already with but ours was in college football. It's done in a season to where if you lose, man, like I'm ranked 3rd and I lose in November and everybody else win. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to climb back up. You know what I mean? You can lose 1 game and your season could be over. And you could end up end up on the outside looking in. You climb back up and you get ranked 5, but you lost that 1 game and you're not one of the 4 best teams, they said. So we had that parity. It was just in the season.
Right, and see the thing now, in my opinion, everybody who likes college football, they're gonna watch the regular season. That's just a given, right?
Yeah.
everybody who went to a major university like Tennessee, Texas, they're gonna support their school because it's like what this is. It's like school spirit. So you're gonna support Oregon. We're gonna support Ohio State. I'm gonna support FSU. I'm getting back into the FSU vibe, whatever. But the thing is, they're trying to grab the people who didn't go to these major universities. They're trying to grab those people and kind of get them into the whole the college football vibe. And I think it's great because like the holiday time is when you can sit down, like from September to December, you can sit down with your family and watch more games. More people still, the bars will make more money. It's a business move. The bars will make more money. It's gonna be more betting going on with Vegas. It's gonna be more stuff going through Vegas. It's just a bigger money grab that the committee is trying to do. So I'm for the playoff extension as far as like that type of bracket suspension or whatever. Like you said, we had that during the regular season, but I'm sorry, like March Madness is just something different. You know what I mean? Everybody gets into March Madness, you know what I'm saying? So I'm for the playoff expansion. Now, the next video we're gonna talk about the the merger. Now that's a complicated thing, the merger. But as far as the playoff thing in December, I'm for it. So that's my opinion. I'm for the playoff extension of teams, and we'll see. Maybe it won't work. I don't know, but this is the first year coming up, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
trial and error.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
agree. I
already
think that
talking about adding more.
right, that's what I'm saying. And I think the one thing I fear is that when you have conference champions, facing each other, and I'm going to discuss this while we have like 6 minutes left, is mismatches happen in every game where you've never seen a team before. So you have to address, you only have like a certain window to match up with those teams that you've never played before. You could look at a conference champion, for example, like Boise State against Oregon or whatever. Oregon's got bigger players. Oregon's got more seasoned talent. Boise State has a lot of little guys that have heart and all that good stuff. You look at teams like or smaller schools that may have their conference championship, and then they play a bigger school that has more legitimate athletes. That means they get
Aaron,
smashed like that.
Aaron,
It's kind of rough.
Aaron, what this is, it's the thrill of the upset. Like when Michigan
Yeah,
lost
that's
to
true.
when Michigan lost. Remember that year when Michigan lost to, was it Western Michigan, or it was a small school?
Appalachian State. I remember
Exactly.
that.
That's what they want. They want to
Yeah,
see.
but you don't. The only way you're not going to get that with 12 teams. Like, yeah, you get more teams in, but it's going to, in college football, it's going to be more chalk than anything. So once the bracket's done, like you're going to be able to tell, oh, okay, Ohio State gets matched up with Clemson. Like, it's like, what the hell? Or Florida State. Like, if Florida State would have gotten the playoffs last year, the same thing would have happened that Georgia did. You know what I mean? So with 12 teams, I just think it's watered down. You know what I mean? It's too much.
I think I'd be
Like,
good with 6 teams, like you said.
you're not going to get it. It's still going to be the same thing because I think I get what you're saying, Mike, and that's exactly what they did. It's a money grab. They wanted the more money, but they also, in a way, tried to make it to where, okay, we ain't gonna leave nobody out. But there's always gonna be somebody left out. Like, period. Even if they go to 30 teams,
Like,
there's
look
always
at the
gonna be somebody left out.
look at the schools that like got off to a good start. Like, let's say from 10 to 25, because during the season teams go up and down, up and down, up and down. But think about the schools like UCF, for example. You know what I'm saying? UCF, schools that are kind of like they're building or whatever, even like schools like University of Memphis, those teams will play first. You see what I'm saying? Like this is how the bracket will be. Like in basketball, they let the smaller guys go first, and then the giants kind of go later, and then it's kind of like a pinball effect, or whatever. But I'm for it. You guys aren't for it, I guess. It's no.
No, I'm for the expansion. Listen, I'm for the expansion. I just think 12 teams is too many. I'm definitely for the expansion because a team like Oregon when they got in, a team that only lost to Washington last year, and we would have got in and showcased like, okay, hey, we can play with these guys. So I'm definitely for it. I feel like 12 is too much.
I would go with 18 because you have an 18 tournament, you'll find a legitimate champion. In my opinion.
Yeah.
And we only have a few minutes left here, but I do want to close with this: 8 teams, a tournament. Whoever gets the final 2 teams battle it out. I mean, and I think right there will show you that you have opportunities to match up because again, a true champion will win regardless of how undermanned they are or how much size different they have with the other team, the talent, the experience. It just really does not matter when you're talking about the main goal, the main title. It's kind of like as a professional wrestler, you're having Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Well, also,
And
also the last thing I'm gonna say at the 2 minute mark. Long story short, what the tournament is or the playoff expansion, the GMs and the committees and people, the fans like you and I, they get to see player evaluations. So they're looking at each player, how they perform. So it's kind of affects the draft where, they're looking, we all know Ohio State's got this caliber of athletes, but they're trying to look, because think about it, the teams that don't make it, the nation may miss out on these gems of, players or whatever, but this expansion, we're gonna see players that, maybe they wasn't on the radar, that they made a name for themselves. They hit the winning shot, or like in the Final Four, or they did a play, or they had a type of talent that wasn't because their school was smaller. So I just think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think so.
I do too. If you ball out, they will find you. Like Dion said, don't matter where you at. If you ball out, they gonna find you.
And that's all that matters. Like I said, me being a wrestling fan, Cody Rhodes balled out on the big champion, the head of the table. That's how it is in sports. You're the underdog, you ball out, you finally get that goal. That's it. All right. So, now the next video, Mike, we are going to talk about the merger, if I'm not mistaken. That should be interesting. As a Buckeye fan, that should be interesting.
Yeah, we need a whole hour for this one, man.
We need a whole hour because I have a whole lot to say about this dang on merger. Because the Buckeyes may be in trouble. Carter, we may be in trouble. All right. So.
All right, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, and we will talk more on our next subject. And we are signing out.
All right, peace.
Appreciate y'all.